Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We're a nonprofit that gets kids excited about math and science. We've got a Losi Mini 8 that has since been discontinued, and the Team Associated Reflex 18? 14B. 14B. So, yeah, this one's bone stock, except for the RPM bumper. Razor RC's got this one a little bit modified with some goodies. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if these make a resurgence, or the Reflex is pretty new, right?
Yeah, so this sort of mini scale stuff is getting a little bit more popular now. So like Losi came out with the Mini T, which is like, I think it's 1/18 scale, a little two-wheel drive stadium truck, and apparently that sold really well. Like it's Losi's 40th anniversary this year.
Oh, wow.
So they came out with a special 40th anniversary, and you might ask yourself, well, which car are they going to make the 40th anniversary? And it turned out they made the Mini T, 18 scale 40th anniversary edition.
Wow.
So it kind of shows that they're kind of proud of the history of the Mini T, which is a little 18 scale stadium truck, and then the Mini 8 here we have on the left. Was a pretty popular buggy because it was like basically a miniature 8 scale, right? It's based off the 8. The 8 scale four-wheel drive buggy, and then this sold pretty well. It was pretty expensive when it came out, I think, over $200. And it was kind of unusual, I think, at the time because four-wheel drive, brushless, with a true sort of racing style layout, basically a miniaturized 8 scale. And then it's been discontinued, but I suspect it will come out with a new version maybe in a year or so. Just because they see how well the other mini stuff is going. And then over here on the right, we got the Reflex 14B from Team Associated. And this again is basically a true full-on, four-wheel drive race buggy, just a miniature scale. So it's got all the adjustments you would expect from like a race car, with all the shock positions and adjustable turnbuckles, and there's even like adjustable wheelbase and sway bars. Yeah, it's pretty serious. So this sells for what, $180 without battery and charger. So it's priced pretty competitively nowadays. I've got reviews on this.
We'll include a link to Razor RC's channel so you can check out the videos on this little mini race buggy. So what have you upgraded? I see a new servo in here and ESC and motor.
Yeah, basically, the electronics in a stock RTR car are usually not that good. So I changed out the motor. It's a little bit bigger, a little more torque. I changed out the ESC. So the ESC is actually a Hobby Wing quick run, I think 10BL30 or something like that. The stock ESC is fine, but it's not programmable. They kind of made a mistake with the firmware where the punch level is set too low. So this is pretty much the same as the stock ESC. It's just tunable or programmable to unlock the full power of the electronics. And then I put in a little Savox servo there. Just gives a little more speed and torque. And then I changed out the radio, so I put a little Furtado receiver in there. It's I've been running it on carpet. These little mini scale stuff, it's good for like smooth, flat surfaces, I'd say. Not so much like grass or really bumpy dirt or something, because they're so small, they just get bounced around a lot. But if you're running it on carpet, like a little indoor carpet track, or on the street, or just on your driveway or something, it's actually ideal for that. So. Or just in your backyard, sort of at the start of COVID this year, I turned my backyard into a little track, and so I was going to 14 scale for a little while. So
nice.
This is one of the cars I picked up and was driving, and it's fun. It's kind of limited in where you can run it, but the price is right, and they are full-on hobby grade RC cars, so something fun to do. in a limited amount of space.
Nice. So I do see these are plastic shock towers though.
Yeah.
So has it been okay?
The car's pretty much all plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't broken anything on the car.
Mm.
The arms, the chassis, the shock towers, turnbuckles, everything's held up. I did make some upgrades, like I added the sway bars. So the cool thing about this is they make tons of option parts. So I actually put on aluminum shocks. The stock ones are plastic. I put on sway bars. I put on stiffer springs.
Mm-hmm.
You can get like aluminum hubs and shock towers, and pretty much upgrade everything on this car
Mm-hmm.
if you want to spend the money. And then I think one downside, I think it's got a plastic chassis.
Yeah, that one's
This one's
metal.
aluminum,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually a really nice I think design feature, because it just, the problem with cars this small is actually they're too light.
They're too light. Yeah, and they just
Yeah.
bounce around.
Yeah, so if you actually have a little more weight, they actually perform quite a bit better in just being a little more stable and easier to drive.
Mm-hmm.
With the super short wheelbase and super small wheels, they're like really twitchy to drive on, if you're driving at the track or driving competitively or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of what I did to this car was just to make it easier to drive and actually drive a little more like a bigger vehicle.
Hmm.
So lengthening the wheelbase and track width.
How do you lengthen the wheelbase? It's actually
they just
adjustable?
Yeah, they just got little spacers in the arms so you can move them front and back.
Oh,
a little
wow.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's adjustable kick up, which is kind of this angle in the front here on the arms, so you can kind of like lean them back a little bit. That just makes it drive a little. It's kind of like adding brake or whatever on a bicycle, just kind of more like easy rider style, but it allows them to drive through bumps and stuff a little smoother. Not getting knocked around so much.
Mm.
So that, if it had an aluminum chassis, that would help a lot actually, I think so.
Hmm.
But it's built to a little bit lower price point than the Losi, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. What type of batteries do you use in this?
I'm running a Venom 2S, like 1600 milliamp batteries, or no, a little bit higher than that.
Like a mini E-Revo?
2000 milliamp batteries.
Or
Yeah, I don't know what they
like that?
fit in, but
Hmm.
yeah, they basically fit right here in this little spot. Take up the
Is
whole.
it about the same size as that nickel metal high ride
It's a
one?
little shorter. It's probably
A little
about that long.
Okay.
A little bit wider.
Hmm.
But yeah, 2000 milliamp hour, gives you enough run time, maybe 12, 15 minutes, something like that, on just continuous power.
Mm-hmm. And full throttle.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, they're pretty fast for little cars.
Mm.
2S brushless, they go pretty good.
Hmm.
So kind of a thing you can do, just in your backyard or on the street, and you don't need a ton of space, and they're a little more inexpensive. And actually, the good thing about this one is it crashes really well because it's so light.
Mm.
It just bounces off stuff more than actually break things. So, yeah, the Losi I think has a little bit more of a reputation for being a little more fragile.
Mm.
But it's kind of more the original 14 scale 4-wheel drive buggy that popularized it.
Was the 8T any more durable than just the regular
I don't
Mini 8?
think so.
No, same
It
issues.
had longer arms, but otherwise I think the cars or truck was about the same. I think the chassis might be a little bit longer on that one.
Hmm.
Not sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, they make a truggy version of this, but it's the exact same car with a different body and bigger tires. There's nothing else different. So
Really?
yeah, it looks a little weird. It looks like a really narrow truggy.
Really? Yeah, it doesn't have the
It's
right
really
proportions.
just a buggy.
It's
Yeah.
just so not even a longer chassis.
Not even longer chassis, not even longer arms. The tires are real skinny. I think they're different tires, different wheels and tires, but it's just too narrow looking for a truggy.
Interesting. And so these, what diameter are these tires? I didn't even think of that.
They take 12mm hexes. I think they're smaller than 2.2 inch like 10 scale buggies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably like 2 inch or something.
Hmm.
But they take 12mm hexes, so you could pretty much mount, just about anything. Like
Put
a lot of
anything
people,
there.
might mount 10 scale buggy tires on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of a traditionalist, so I try to keep the proportions like back to your original spec.
Keep it proportional.
Not put on huge monster truck tires on these things. But,
Yeah. I'm more that type of guy.
Yeah, and everyone's got their thing. So that's just my thing.
Very cool. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, we actually have a blackout, a Redcat Blackout Xte here, which comes in at about the same price point as the Reflex.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, that's kind of a, well, the brush version, we upgraded this one to brushless, but just something else to consider, you know, if you want something that'll handle a little bit rougher terrain.
Yeah, that's what I found to be the main limitation of these little guys, is they kind of limited in where they can run as well. And so they're slightly pricey, I think, for what you get in terms of actual capability or whatever. Because you're right, like they're almost the price of a 10 scale, really, right?
Yeah, like a two-wheel drive.
Yeah, two-wheel drive.
Brushless, maybe. Well,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Brushed.
Yeah. I mean, they are brushless, but it's not like the electronics are that great in these things either. So,
Yeah.
There are actually like 14 scale buggies like this, like the WL Toys 144001. I think I'm saying that right. It's got a 550 size can brushed motor in there.
Wow.
So, which seems huge for a 14 scale, right?
Yeah.
But it's like the power of like a little brushless, 14 scale motor. So they can put in a really cheap, powerful motor for the scale, right? Obviously, it's not going to be that powerful for a 10 scale, but you put in a little buggy like this, and it's like, wow, this thing's so fast.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 12-turn, 550 sized motor.
I mean,
these small little light buggies, and then they go fast. So
that's pretty much the Mini E-Revo formula, right? The brushed one at least. Yeah, it had a 550 size Titan in there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I guess the Mini E-Revo, or those 1/16 scale or whatever, they're kind of competitors with these things as well.
I guess so. I mean, we kind of got out of those just because they were just too difficult to work on.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was like the E-Revo miniaturized, and just, you know, that kind of an older design that was, getting to those differentials was just a pain. You'd have to disassemble the whole, front or rear assembly.
Yeah, like pop the whole thing out.
Yep.
This one's actually pretty easy to work on. It's just got like, that's what I was saying. This is kind of like a modern style 4-wheel drive buggy because it's got the easy access discs.
Oh, you can pop them out?
It's got a center differential. It's like 4 screws. You don't have to like rip out the whole, all the arms and take off the bulkhead and shock tower and all that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a cap.
Yep.
Held in by 4 screws, and then you just pop that out and pop out the disc. So they made it, because it's not that old. It's maybe 2 years old at this point. So, and it seems like something they actually designed. It's not like a rebranded, Chinese company.
Something else. Yeah.
So they seem like they built it from scratch, designed it from scratch, and then made it like how you would make a modern 4-wheel drive buggy. With all the adjustments and the easy maintenance and all that. So
very cool. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that like button, it helps us out. That subscribe button helps us out even more. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks again for watching.